Hello everyone, this is James Shore with another test-driven development episode. It is April 6th for me, and I am picking up where we left off at the end of episode 99, since episode 100 was sort of a special recap episode. And at the end of episode 99, what we had was we had the software working, well, not quite working. We had just finished dealing with the case of overflows and conversely underflows. If we have more than $1 billion, then the application is not going to work. But the problem with that code is that it wasn't quite complete. It only worked for calculations, here where we start out with a high value and then see growth on that value and the ending balance is higher than it should be. That works fine. But putting numbers larger than that in, we haven't thrown any exception, but it's not really behaving properly. So at the end of episode 99, we were looking at resolving that issue, but I was really struggling with how to do it. I had written, I have this code which is about whether or not the value is in the legal range, and I want to use that code, but the parsing logic is inside of dollars. So in order to have that the out-of-bounds checker work on the dollars.parse. Dollars.parse has to know a lot more about valid dollars than I really want it to. I don't really want to make this out-of-range test public. And at the same time, I don't want to re-implement a comparison to $1 billion inside of dollars, because if I ever change this constant, then I'll have to change it inside of dollars, and I probably won't remember to do that because I'm smart that way. So it was something I was really struggling with. But over the break, I think I came up with an idea, which is rather than throwing an exception here and having the code fail fast, I should just replace valid dollars with a factory method and go ahead and return the correct amount there. Now, I wasn't the only one who thought of that. In the context of figuring out how to eliminate, I originally came up with this idea in the context of figuring out how to eliminate this duplication. I thought, a factory method would do the trick. And then I realized, of course, if I've got a factory method, that will also get rid of that problem of having dollars to know too much about valid dollars. I want to give a shout out to Elias Lindholm, who came up with the same idea and suggested as well. Peter Soldos came up with a really interesting idea for eliminating the duplication as well, which you can see. This is all in the comments on episode 98. His idea is sort of about using a lambda code block to do the calculation for you. I don't think I'm going to do that. It's a neat idea, but Java's syntax just doesn't support it cleanly. And I think I can get most of the value just by using a factory method. So that's what I'm going to do. When we left off, I had previously been looking at exposing an invalid range method. I just really don't like that idea, so I'm going to take that back out and instead write a factory method. Now, that factory method could either live on dollars or valid dollars. There's good reasons for it to live on dollars for the same reason that parse does, but I'm actually going to put it on valid dollars, and the reason for that is that, again, all the logic that's involved here is really part of valid dollars, and I want to keep it all together. Also, there's nobody who is going to use this factory method other than valid dollars and some tests. So I'm not even going to make it public. I'm just going to make it local to the package. So here we go. Let's we want to say cannot construct dollars larger than max range. Okay, so I wrote two assertions there. That's because this is pretty straightforward. I think I can get this to pass really easily. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, so cannot construct dollars larger than max range. Yeah, that threw an exception. So I'm going to get rid of this. And now we should see it failing with a, oops, what happened there? Now we should see it failing, saying expected an invalid, but it was $1,000,001,000. Yep. So we'll say if out of range amount return. No, we can't do that. Sorry, brain fart. I have to make a factory method. So I have to say valid dollars.new. Oh, I can't do that. Huh. Well, let's see. Create, I suppose. I've been spending a lot of time with Ruby lately, and I got to say I like it a lot better as a language. Although sometimes I miss out on the static typing of Java. So we're going to make this private. I'm not loving that. I'm not loving that I've got this create method returning a dollars. It really feels like it should live on the dollars class itself. I'm going to let this sit for a while. Pragmatically, I like this where it is right now. Conceptually, it feels a bit ugly. So I'm going to let it sit, and next time I come back to it, if it bugs me, I can move it. Because that did fix the problem. So now I've got the little fun chore of turning all of these constructors into to use the static method. So let's see if there's a refactoring for this. Introduce factory. Cool. Where did the factory go? There it is. And of course, what we want to do is to return create. Which we can inline. Oh, I can't inline it. Well, that's all right. I'll just do this. This is starting to look a bit ugly. Well, that should still compile and pass tests. Whoa, but it so didn't. Stack Overflow error. Oh, returning myself. Let's try that again. All right, that is working. Let's go ahead and rename this to just create. I am definitely not super thrilled with this. But again, I think I'm going to let it be for now. This is private now, so that's okay. And back here, I can go ahead and yeah, so wow, that should have done the trick. Let's go ahead and check our assumptions. So when I get to 999, or if I get to when I type the next number and get to 9 billion, I should see an invalid icon in that starting balance column. And there we go. Great. So it's working. Yep, it's working just fine. All right, so that takes us to the end of that. Like I said, I'm not thrilled with the way this code worked out, but it's probably okay. We'll see. I feel like what I'm doing here is fighting with Java more than fighting with the quality of the design. So that doesn't bother me quite so much. What does bother me is the fact that valid dollars is returning a dollars type. A static method on valid dollars that's a factory method is on the valid dollars type and returning the dollars type. Probably should live here, but I don't know. What I am going to do is I'm going to make this not a public method. So at least I'm hiding the ugliness. Oh, maybe I can't do that. Oh yeah, I guess I have tests in here that are creating dollars directly as well. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'll just have to leave that public and leave that ugliness exposed. I will let that sit for a while. If any of you out there have any ideas, please let me know in the comments. And next time I come back to this, I might have a better idea. So thanks everybody for watching. I think that's going to be it for today, or at least for this episode. So thanks again, and I will see you next time.